Hey y'all, so today I want to read y'all something just to, lift your spirits. Let's start here. Purposeful peace. Work at living in peace with everyone and work at living a holy life. For those who are not holy will not see God. So how I interpret that is work at living in peace with everyone. So most people might say, well, how is that possible if we live in the devil's world? Well, that means isolate your life, itemize your life. If you feel a certain way about someone and they're stressing you, then they shouldn't be in your life. Because if you think about it, work at living in peace with everyone. If everyone you're at peace with, that means you've specifically chosen them to be cool with them. You see what I'm saying? So I think as humans, we don't break down enough what God wants us to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to have a peaceful life, that means everything around you should have the choice to choose whether you like it or not. And if you continue to build your life like that, you won't have to have these quote unquote toxic environments. You could just build your own little world and be at peace with yourself. So let's continue. Peace and holiness never come to those who don't want them. As I said before, you have to want a peaceful life to have one. Continuing. Peace can exist both in our minds and our relationships, and holiness can only be seen in our relationships when it's seen in our hearts. Basically, you can't fake the funk on holiness. If it's not in you, or you're not trying to become it, it will never happen. The Hebrews author tells us to work at living in peace because peacemaking is important to God. God is not toxic. He is the Almighty. He wants us to be joyful and happy all the time. Not to say you won't have bad days, but you'll have bad days, but you'll still be at peace. He is unwilling to abide with sin, yet he can confront it peacefully and still overpower it, meaning that he has no space for sin. He has no chill for sin. He does not want us to mix and match with sin. It's either you in it or you ain't. And it says he is unwilling to abide with sin. He doesn't care for it. He doesn't want it in his world. He can confront it peacefully, meaning that he can overtake it if he wants, and he can overthrow it, but he doesn't want to. Like, it's like being in a fight. You can beat them up, but all in all, in your heart, you're not a fighter, so you don't want to fight, but if you have to, you will. Continuing. To not live in holiness is to live apart from God, meaning that we were created to live holy. We were created to live as a complete soul. Like, we weren't meant to be fragmented. We can't be near him if we are not holy. His very being rejects anything unholy, meaning you can't be lukewarm with God. You either are in or you're not. You either want. It's like when certain people say, I want to get married. I want to have to, you know what I'm saying? You either want this relationship or you for the streets. There is no hopscotching in and out. It doesn't work that way. Okay. The moment we turn our addictions and idols for fulfillment is the moment we lose God's presence in our hearts. Okay, so we cannot be near him if we are not holy. His very being rejects anything unholy. The moment we turn our addictions and idols for fulfillment is the moment we lose God's presence in our hearts. Meaning that the moment we trade God for addictions and basically anything that we idol, we're cheating on God with. And I'm guilty of that myself. But it's a day-by-day process. It's just like it's a percentage game. If you're 80% with God and 20% with idols, with addictions for the streets, It's cool because you can still overpower that 20%. But if it's flipped, if you're 20% with God and 80% for the world, you have an unlikelihood of actually winning this war with yourself, not just with the world, with yourself. It's not likely that you're going to be with God or in the gates. You're not going to be accepted. He will not live in a heart that has something else on its throne, for he is holy and his jealousy for us. Now, you have to also understand that these words were written in a time where they never basically modified it. Even though they say that they are modified versions, they never really change the definition so we can understand it in now times. Because I always had an issue when they say that God is jealous. God's not jealous. Jealous comes from insecurity. God is basically just saying, are you with me or you not? And if you're going to put something above me, don't come back to me. So God is just a very, very stern God. That's what it is. So it said he will not live in our hearts, in a heart that has something else on its throne. Basically, you can't be pro God, or you can't desire God or want God if you have something else in its position, if you have something else on the pedestal. So it's like, if you married and you still out here cheating, then you're not really married. That's basically what it is. And when they say God is jealous, he's saying he's primary. He's the first. So you better not put something first beyond him if you want all of the vibes from God. You want his blessings, you want his peace, you want his calmness, you want his comfort, but you still out here going behind his back, doing whatever. He knows. Okay. And lastly, it says, "Oh God, I commit my heart and mind to you. Make me holy and use my words to bring peace to every situation." So basically, what that means is, in life, even if you're trying to find your way to God, you need to at least put in the effort. Let's just make this simple and plain. Say you want to be in a relationship. Say you want to turn your life over and you're not trying to be in these streets no more, which is fine. You want better. You want better for yourself. You're trying to better your life. You're trying to better your circumstance. You have to willingly desire and change your life day by day because you want something better. You want a relationship. You don't want floozies. You don't want women, or for a woman, you don't want men in your life back to back, in and out. You want something more sustainable. You want something more concrete. You want something more committed to you. These are good aspirations, but you have to walk towards it yourself. You can't just want it to walk to you. That's not how life works. So, all in all, I can say, if you really want to change your life and you really want God's presence, you have to seek him. Tell him that you want him. Tell him that you want to be in a relationship. When we speak of God, we always see him in the ethereal, in the spirit. Try to make God human. Try to humanize him. Try to personify him. Try to make him seem like a girlfriend, or for women, a boyfriend. Say you want a relationship really bad. You have to now adapt and change your life for that relationship that you want, even though it's not physically present yet. You have to be the change, not the other way around. And then what you want will come to you willingly.